So today, June 12, 2022. This is the update of my garden. So since the last video, which was taken about 3 weeks ago, the plants have grown up pretty well. We had occasional rains a couple of times. That has helped the plants to grow. So this is the mint which I planted relatively recently. And these are onions. And this is my nursery area where I nurture smaller plants. All these tomatoes, they germinated themselves in this garden. Probably they were from the seeds fell last year. And then there are a couple of chilies here. And this was the kale from 2 years ago, which I had trimmed yesterday because most of the leaves were mature. And then this is beetroot. It has grown pretty well. So probably bulbs started developing. And this is 100% regenerative garden, which means no fertilizers, no chemicals, no pesticides, nothing was used, nothing was added externally to the soil except the compost. So these are potatoes. They also grow pretty well. And as they kept growing, I kept adding more and more soil. So originally the soil level was here at the ground, and I have added all this soil. So I'm hoping that wherever I put the soil, more and more tubes, potatoes in the form of tubes, more and more potatoes would develop. So this entire section here are the potatoes. And they grew pretty tall. And I have added more material here, more soil here as well. And this is cilantro. I would be harvesting a little bit of it to make kale juice. And this is the kind of kale too. This is not the curly version. And here we have lettuce. I have harvested a few times and it has regrown, so I would be harvesting a little more. I would be adding this also to kale juice. And this is all carrot, growing up pretty well. So far there is no attack of insects or pests, and I have not used any kind of chemicals. I have not used anything at all. If the soil is healthy and very well enriched, the pests and insects, most of the pests and insects do not attack, or they cannot attack, because they cannot digest healthy leaves. They attack when the leaves are undernourished or they are weak. That's when they attack more. And here I have kale, which I'll be harvesting in a while, and then I'll make kale juice along with some apples, grapes, lettuce, and a cilantro. I would be probably throwing in a couple of beetroot leaves and probably sweet potato leaves as well. And sweet potato is here in the pots. Since they can go really deep, I put them in the pot so that I don't have to dig them deeper for harvesting the sweet potatoes. And this is the chili plant, which has grown pretty well since the last video about 3 weeks ago. And I harvested one chili this morning, and there are a couple of baby chilies here, and then there is some flowering, and there are some okra here to protect them from squirrels, which usually dig up when a plant is relatively new. I put this plastic container around the plant, and these are some more okras. They started growing up well too. And sunflowers, they are growing well. I probably need to harvest some leaves in order to let the plants around the sunflowers to get some sunlight. And this is capsicum, green bells. And this is tomato. So this entire row has tomatoes, some sunflowers in between the tomatoes, and one eggplant here. So the eggplant is growing relatively slow, but it started catching up lately. And potatoes, we have some potatoes so far, but none of them is ripened yet. The weather started warming up, so we are hoping that they will start turning to red color, and then we could have continuous harvest after that. So this probably is the best grown tomato plant so far. It seems it has already grown about 4 feet, again without adding any fertilizers, and you can see how healthy the leaves are, the branches are, without spraying any kind of chemicals or pests, because as we already talked about, insects and pests cannot attack a healthy plant, since they cannot digest all the nutrition the healthy leaves have. So health of a leaf is technically tested by using a machine called Brix refractometer. So the Brix number, if 12 or higher, then it is considered as a healthy plant. And in order to have a higher Brix number, a plant needs 4 things: the sunlight, water, air, and very good nutrition in the soil. And the soil that is added with external NPK, the chemicals, would not have good NPK, would not have good Brix number. So if it has organic material such as compost, then it will have good Brix number. So it has some tomatoes. It seems it slowly started turning to yellow, and then probably eventually it will turn to red. And then there are some more tomatoes here, and there are some bunches inside as well. And the bottom leaves I could trim, but I'm retaining as of now, since I want to protect the tomatoes from squirrels. I'm hoping that the squirrels cannot see the tomatoes very easily if there are lots of leaves around them. So this is another plant, and in between there are well grown sunflowers. I would be harvesting these bottom leaves so that the tomatoes around the sunflowers would receive more light. So this plant also started developing some tomatoes. It seems this is a different variety. The shape of the tomato is different from the other plants. And here, since the last video, we have some new plants like beans. So this is chili, homegrown right from the seeds, and these seeds were what I saved last year. So, and these are also chilies, and once they grow a little bigger, probably some I would give away to some of the neighbors who have asked her. And this is another beans. That is another beans, and this one too. So hopefully when we make another update next time, the beans would grow much bigger. So that's all for now, and we'll have another update towards the end of June. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.